It's no doubt that fame runs deep in society. I mean, if you ask any human being on this planet, they're probably gonna say that they want to be famous someday. I'm gonna say 9 times out of 10 though, because everyone is different, you know? But a lot of people crave fame. I mean, let's look at schools, for example. What's the one thing that every single human being wanted back when they were in high school, middle school, or maybe even elementary school? Popularity. Popularity was one of the biggest things back in school. There were literally kids playing sports that they don't even care about, just for the popularity that came with it. And let's even look at kids, for example. If you ask a kid what they want to be when they grow up, they're not just going to say a football player, basketball player, or YouTuber. They're going to say a famous football player, or a famous basketball player, or maybe even a famous YouTuber. Society in general just loves fame. I mean, we look up to famous people. Anytime a famous person does something, the blog pages go crazy. Like, why am I opening up Twitter and I see that Kim Kardashian stubbed her toe at 5 p.m. this afternoon? Like, why do I care, you know? But fame is like one of the most interesting things when you really think about it. Like, fame back then, like, to get famous, you would have to probably like be in a movie, maybe create music, or maybe even play a sport. But nowadays, any human being on this planet can become famous. And I'm gonna say famous in quotes because I feel like there's like two different depictions of fame. There's like fame and then there's clout, which honestly, let me break it down right now. I feel like fame is long term. Like, Jay-Z is famous, Beyonce is famous, but when you got people like, let's take me for example. Like, some people may see a number on YouTube. They might see like 12K subs and be like, oh my gosh, that's fame. But in my eyes, I don't really see it as like fame or anything. I just see it as kind of like clout, I guess. But even that word is pretty cringy if I do say so myself. So yeah, there's many depictions of fame, but I would say that like back then, fame was more gatekept. Like, to be famous, you had to do something extraordinary. That man, Michael Jackson, that man was famous. Freaking Prince, that man was famous. And now anybody can be famous nowadays. I mean, if you walk down the street, you're probably gonna find like 3 different girls that have maybe 50 million on TikTok. It's honestly wild. And I feel like when it comes to like anyone can be famous nowadays, I feel like that's a good thing and a bad thing. Because the good thing is, I mean, you got more people out here creating content and stuff. And honestly, I love creating content. And when more people join and create content, I feel like that brings more money in the area. And hey, we're all eating at the end of the day. And also, it brings in more views. It brings in more eyes to platforms and stuff like that. So I think it's pretty sick. But also, there's a downside of this anyone can be famous area, which is people who shouldn't have influence having influence. I mean, I'm pretty sure we see all over Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, just like random people saying the most outrageous takes and people believing it and now believing in those takes. And although some of them are like, you can tell that some are a troll. Like, I feel like Andrew Tate, like that man, I feel like 9 times out of 10, that man is trolling. Like, I see that man as a comedian. But then you got like people out there that like truly believe in this stuff. Like, you got these people like starting up a podcast, then out of nowhere they just bring these OnlyFans girls on and they just kick them out, start calling them you a bitch, like stuff like that. It's like, wow, people are actually watching this. Like, it's pretty wild. You guys know that song? What's that one song by Cardi B and Offset? Is it Offset, or pretty sure it's Offset? They do anything for clout. That song, I feel like that's now the internet nowadays. A few examples of people doing stuff for clout. I mean, literally on Twitter, I was just scrolling a few days ago and I saw this video of this little kid saying that Kai Cenat is his father and it's been 7 years.
My name is Kylan Cenat the Fourth. The world needs to know that Kai Cenat is my father. It's been 7 years now, and he hasn't reached out. Dad, if he don't reach out, I'm gonna let the world know everything.
And I just find that pretty sad because it's like some adult that had a child literally just sat him down and told him, yo, say this real quick for this video, recorded it, then uploaded it, which is pretty sad when you think about it. Another example of people doing anything for clout is like Danielle Bergoli. I mean, she literally just went on freaking live TV, disrespected her mother, her family, and stuff like that, and somehow got a platform off of that. Then years later, when she turned 18, she made like 1 million in a day off of OnlyFans. Number one, that's sick. You're a sick human being if you spawn camped until she was freaking 18 to buy her OnlyFans. And number two, I just feel like that's pretty wild, like that this person got a platform off of disrespecting her mother, the person that birthed her. Another example, Logan Paul in the Suicide Force. Now, although Logan Paul, like he's had a pretty good redemption arc. I like Logan Paul nowadays.
Please, say less, please.
Corny as fuck. Get the fuck out of here.
Hey, say less, Logan. Hey, good luck with your fight, Logan.
But back then, like, that man was trying to go up and up and up. He's like, oh man, like, what's the next best thing I can do? Then boom, goes into a Suicide Force, records that video, like, oh, there's gonna be a banger video.
A few moments later.
I've made a severe and continuous
lapse in my judgment.
And speaking of people recording things just for that shock factor, let's look at that one dude from the UK, Mizzy. That man is literally stealing grandma's dogs, walking into random people's houses and stuff just for some likes on TikTok. Like, I just think that's like one of the stupidest things ever. And I see that happening a lot nowadays. Like, not like the upper echelon of prank YouTubers, but I see like a lot of low tier prank YouTubers disrupting spaces and stuff like that just to get a banger video, you know? And I just think like at that point, that's when you just gotta hang up the towel. Like, my boy, if you're going into a freaking fast food restaurant and trashing the place just for a video, I think that's just wild. But I think one of the wildest things ever when it comes to like, I guess just like internet fame and just clout is like when people like have it at one point, then they just like crash down and lose it. And they're trying to like regain how they used to have clout, but it's just like they can't. Like, let's look at somebody like FouseyTube, for example. That man has been up and down and up and down and up and down for the past like 10 years when it comes to YouTube. And nowadays that man, like, he's found his way again with streaming. But at the same time, this man is like damaging his mental health just to stream. Like, this man is literally having like temper tantrums on stream and stuff like that, mental breakdowns, but he just keeps on going just because of the numbers and the clout. I mean, he hasn't touched these numbers in years. And when you see those numbers again, it's like, dang, that's addicting. I need that. I need that. I need that. Another situation of a person having clout, but then like going into desperation for that clout again is Lil Tay. And not really Lil Tay, but like Lil Tay's parents, because Lil Tay was like a young kid that got exploited. They literally faked her death for some views. Like, if that's not the wildest thing you have ever heard, that is truly wild. Lil Tay probably just wants to live like a normal life or whatever, but like she probably just can't, because like anybody that sees her nowadays is just probably like, oh, Lil Tay, like flex on us. Lil Tay, flex on us. Please flex on. Like, I don't know. I just find it pretty weird when like a young kid gets exploited for like views and stuff like that. And like the young kid can't do anything. Like, let's look at Ryan's toy reviews. Like, I hope that man's doing all good. You know, that man just be like playing with toys or whatever. But I just find it pretty wild how like his parents are probably like, yo, like get to these toys. Like, we got to pay these bills ASAP. And it's like, bro probably just wants to like chill, watch Netflix or something. And boom, bro can't even, just because his parents got to make this bread somehow. And they're going to exploit their son's mental health, that man's age, whatever. They're going to exploit whatever just for that check. Another situation of a person that had clout, but then like they lost it. And now they're like trying to climb back to that little like place that they were at was 6ix9ine. Now, don't get me wrong. Back in 2018, 6ix9ine had to be one of the funniest human beings on Instagram. I mean, literally any day that 6ix9ine posted, it was a pretty funny day. One of the best trolls to ever exist. But it eventually got to a point where like people got tired of it. Bro got locked up. He got back out and he's trying to troll again. And people aren't biting the bait anymore. And now like bro's doing whatever just to get that clout back. And I just think it's pretty wild. I think like the whole moral of this video is that like internet fame is addicting. When you see these huge numbers on the screen, you're gonna want these numbers again and again and again and again. But try not to get lost in it, you know? Like, I feel like the focus for like YouTube videos or just like YouTubers in general should be to like have fun. Just don't get caught up in fame or whatever. Just make the best videos possible. Be as creative as you can. Try to better whatever you do each day. And yeah, that's pretty much it. In a society where every single person can be famous, nobody is truly famous. So at the end of the day, just make the best video possible. I feel like that's a phenomenal message. I should like put that on a t-shirt or something like that, you know? That's actually a fire message, I can't lie. But yeah, this is gonna wrap up the video. If you guys made it this far, I appreciate you. If you guys enjoyed this video, then I highly recommend you guys check out my most recent video where I talk about words ruined by the internet. It'll be somewhere here on the screen. I don't know where, but it'll be somewhere here. And yeah, with all that being said, thank you guys for watching. It's Cameron, and I'm out.